Hello and peace be upon everyone. Many articles have been written and videos were made to accuse the Holy Book of Islam, the Quran, of intolerance, violence, and terrorism. I'll be replying at those accusations in a series of videos to try to clear up many misunderstandings and false claims. Those false claims were made by many non-Muslims, especially by some Christians. Today, I'll be replying at a pretty famous accusation that the Quran advocates killing and murder. I'll be doing a parallel comparison between many verses in the Quran and in the Bible, and the listener should be able to have a clear idea about what book fits this accusation. I would like to mention that my goal is not to judge the actions of individuals, whether they are Muslims or Christians. It would be unfair to judge a religion based on the actions of men. They are good and bad individuals in every faith and culture, so my focus is to put scriptures under examinations to try to reach a fair judgment about any subject. I invite all listeners to approach this video or any subsequent ones with an open mind, without any prejudgment. I will start off with verses from the Quran, which clearly condemns killings of innocents in many verses. We read in chapter 6, Surah 6, verse 151, "Take not life which God hath made secret, except by the way of justice and law." In chapter 17, verse 33, "Nor take life which God has made secret, except for just cause." In Surah 25, verse 68, "Nor slay such life as Allah has made secret." In chapter 17, verse 33, "Nor take life which God has made secret, except for just cause." Chapter 5, verse 32, "If anyone slew a person, it would be as if he slew the whole people, and if anyone saved a life, it would be as if he saved the life of the whole people." So it clearly shown in these verses that the Quran definitely regard the human life as secret and forbids completely the killing of innocents and taking a life without a just cause. In regard the phrase just cause, the Quran itself in many verses explain exactly what the just cause means. It refers to circumstances such as in self-defense or in a battle forced on Muslims. The Quran itself explains this meaning clearly in many verses. I will try to quote just few verses because of the time constraint to try to prove this point. Alright, so in verse chapter 22nd, verse 39, "To those against whom war is made, permission is given to fight because they are wronged. They are those who have been expelled from their homes in defiance of right, for no cause, except they say, Lord is God." In chapter 4, verse 75, "Why should ye not fight in the cause of God and of those who being weak are ill-treated and oppressed, men, women, and children, whose cry is, Our Lord, rescue us from this town," whose people are oppressors. In chapter 8, verse 26, "Call to mind when you were a small band, despised through the land and afraid that men might despoil and kidnap you, but he provided a safe asylum for you." In chapter chapter 9, chapter 9, verse 13, "Will you not fight people who violated their oath, plotted to expel the apostle, and took the aggressive by being the first to assault you?" And in chapter 3, verse 195, those who have left their homes or been driven out therefrom, or suffered harm in my cause, or fought, or been slain. So again, another verse in chapter second chapter, in verse 190. Fight in the cause of God, who fight you, but do not transgress limits, for God does not love transgressors. So there are many verses in the Quran, many. There's another one here in verse 217, the same chapter. Nor will they cease fighting you until they turn you back from your faith, if they can. As I said, there are many verses in throughout the Quran. You know, it shows definitely that the Muslims were oppressed and forced to be engaged in battles, in self-defense, to try to defend themselves. So now we move to the Bible, and we go through verses in the Bible, and trying to see exactly what this book is preaching. Alright, so we start off with Deuteronomy 17:12. The order of God to kill whoever doesn't listen to priest. Just for not listening to priest, God is commanding the killing of those people. Anyone arrogant enough to reject the verdict of a judge or the priest who represent the Lord your God must be killed. Deuteronomy 17:12. Kill witches. You should not let a sorceress live. Exodus 22:17. Killed homosexuals. Leviticus 20:13. If a man lives with a male as with a woman, both of them should be put to death. Kill fortune tellers. A man or a woman who act as a medium or fortune teller should be put to death by stoning. Leviticus 20:27. In Exodus 21:15, the death of hating a dad. If you hate a dad, according to the biblical God, you should be killed. Whoever strikes his father or a mother should be killed. Death of cursing parent. All who curse their father or mother must be killed. Leviticus 29. The death of adultery. If a man commit adultery with another man, his wife, both the man and the woman must be put to death. Leviticus 20:10. The death for fornication. A priest's daughters who lose her honor by committing fornication and therefore dishonors her fathers also should be burned to death. Leviticus 21:9. So the biblical God is commanding to put a person or to fry a person to death for fornication. I gotta check the time. It's still 8 minutes. Okay. Exodus 22:19. The death of two followers of other religion. Whoever sacrifices to any god except the Lord alone should be doomed. Kill non-believers. Everyone who should not seek the Lord, the God of Israel, was to be killed, whether small or great, whether man or woman. The second book of Chronicles 15:12-13. Kill false prophet. Zechariah 13:3. If a man still prophesies, his parent, father and mother should say to him, you should not live. Killing the entire town. The biblical God is commanding to kill the entire whole town if one person worship another God. Suppose you hear in one of the towns the Lord your God is giving you that some worthless robber among you have led their fellow citizens astray by encouraging them to worship foreign gods. In such cases, you must examine the fact carefully. If you find it is true and can prove that such detestable act has occurred among you, you must attack that town and completely destroy all its inhabitants, as well as all its livestock. So doesn't matter, women, kids, adultery, animals, innocent, doesn't matter. It's a indiscriminate killing. And later it says here in this chapter that town must remain in ruin forever. It might never be rebuilt. So this is what the Bible is preaching. We read in Deuteronomy, kill women who are not virgin on their wedding night. So if a woman she's not a virgin, she has to be put to death. But if this chart is true, that she was not a virgin on her wedding night, and evidence of the girl's virginity is not found, they should bring the girl to the entrance of her father's house, and there her townsmen should stone her to death. So, if a girl is not virgin on the day of her wedding, she has to be stoned to death, based on the teaching of the Bible. Kill the followers of other religion. Deuteronomy 13, verse 17 to 12. If your own full brother, or your son or daughter, or your beloved wife, or your inmate friends entices you secretly to serve other gods whom you and your father have not known, God of your other nations, near at the hand of or far away, from one end of the earth to other, do not yield to him or listen to him, nor took with pity upon him to spare or shield him, but kill him. Kill him. This is the destiny of anybody who chooses not to follow the same God of Israel. Again, in Deuteronomy 72 2:5, the same teaching. That man or woman must be taken to the gate of town and stoned to death. For the same accusation of following other religion. So I'm gonna stop here, and this is the end of the first part, and I'm gonna be starting shortly the second part of this video. Thank you for listening.